rifle, German engineering. What could be better?
So on this episode, we have the SA80 L85A2 BULLPUP, a assault rifle from Killing Floor 2, and one of the lower tier ones in particular. A choice of full auto and semi-auto fire modes. The SA80 was the British Army's standard weapon before the Army was, well, eaten. It's a decent weapon, as we'll show. Now the weapon has 3 tiers of upgrades, 600, 700, and 1500, each also increasing the weight, as is natural. It's a decent weapon still, but not much of an improvement. Now in terms of firing the gun, you have full auto, which has a decent bit of burst to it. It's not too much inaccuracy, it can be hip-fired relatively easily. And then it has a really accurate semi-auto, but I never tend to use it. I find full auto just too useful, especially with aiming down sights and snap aiming. It's pretty useful overall. Now, if you're using the weapon in solo, it's perfectly fine. Most weapons are, you'll find, playing solo on lower difficulties. You won't really need to upgrade them too much. It's more just for fun factor. I mean, what a surprise, you're playing on easy. There's only one of you, and there's not going to be much health for the enemies as they balance it out depending on how many players there are. But still, you know, it's not the best weapon. It mainly falters against boss fights, but against the standard low-tier enemies, it's perfect. Though medium-tier or larger tier enemies, Scrakes and Flesh Pounds, it's gonna be a bit lacking in. But, you know, to each its own. It's Killing Floor 2, it's a lot about just playing with whatever weapon you want because there's a lot of options, and it's a fun weapon overall.
Now I shot you! Game time! Ha! You say something! We've got a Scrake! Tear you a new one! You say something? Enemies inbound! Okay.
So, that kind of wraps it up. The L85 BULLPUP is a perfectly fine weapon. Nothing too remarkable or disastrous about it. It's a vanilla weapon. This was a launch weapon. No update needed, just kind of there. And, you know, it's fine. I enjoy it for what it's worth. I like the look of it. It's always been a weapon I've had fondness of, but it's nothing remarkable. Relatively cheap to buy. It's only $6.50, though the upgrades definitely increase that. It's fine for multiplayer, especially on lower difficulties, and it's perfect for single player on almost any difficulty because it's by yourself. Nothing wrong with using it. It's just an adequate weapon all around that I do tend to enjoy. So, that's the end of this episode. We'll see you next time on Weapon Show.